Welcome YouTubers, welcome to my channel, welcome to this final episode of my amazing garden gate build. In this episode you're going to see the archway finished, you're going to see all the hinges and the ironmongery going on to this gate. You're going to see me do the posts cut from 4x2s to support the gate, and then you're going to see it installed at the customer. So I hope you enjoy the video. Like, subscribe and comment. Thank you and enjoy. So let's have a recap of what we did in episode 2. Link in the description below this video. So we did the frame. We had to clamp the frame so it was slightly twisted. So I used my 600 clamps to remove it from the frame and glued and screwed it, and it was fine. Then we orbital sanded the frame down with 180 grit. And then we started to do the archway. We had problems with the archway. We then fitted the brace which supports the gating compression that stops it sagging. It's very important to get this correct, and I pointed this out in the video. Then we moved on to the tongue and groove. So we did the tongue and groove. I talked about the galvanized pins we should be using for it, how to glue it, how it expands, how it contracts. We then used my orbital router with a top bearing bit, 1/4 inch, to use the template to cut the archway. This was a complete failure, and in this video I'll show you how we completed this correctly with the 1/2 inch router and the top and bottom bearing pins. I was so upset with this because it took me hours to do, but it's fun when you finally complete it properly. So this is the gate as it stood. We oiled it. We used Teak oil. I used 3 coats of Teak oil. There's me being a bit of a wally, and I hope you now enjoy episode 3. Hello YouTubers, day 3. Disaster with the arch. It's good, but it's not perfect. I slipped with the router, tired, end of the day. So it's alright, I'll turn this radio off. So I'll do another one. So on the door, I'm going to do metal bar, then the arch and a bit of wood. I've added a bit of filler on cut edges, a bit of overkill, and with the tongue and groove I took it back off because I want to use 50mm galvanised brads and a few more of them and a bit of glue just to make it stronger. So that's that. So I'm quickly going to do this because we've got lots of rain today. I've cut this. What I've done, the edges on this 4x2 aren't square, so I've squared it off with my track saw, Nikita track saw. So I've done a slight off of about 3-degree angle either side, each bit of 3 degrees on my angle, slightly offset, run one through there, the other one the opposite way, and then that makes them meet up really well. So they're like a 45. There's lots of clips on YouTube. So say running through getting the table saw out, I've done it with my track, and with those 2 slight angles cutting 2 or 3mm off, it will meet up lovely. Right, I'm just going to put some glue on and 3 clamps. So using amazing Teak oil to oil the gate, it brings it out lovely. I did about 3 coats of this. So the gate hinges I ordered black, but this came, so instead of sending them back, I got my Hammerite paint that I've had about 20 years and painted them. Needed about 3 coats and a light sand, but they came out lovely. So I'm using double-sided tape. This allows me to stick the template on the proposed archway, and then I'm going to use a double fluted, double bearing router bit which I got on eBay, and to be fair it wasn't very good, but I won't be using it that often, and a trend equivalent one is nearly £50, so it did the job really well. Secure the template in place, ready for routing. So I'm using my 1/2 inch router with the said router bit, and I'm now running it along the template. You can see it, the bottom bearing running along the template, so this ensures that the archway will come out lovely, plumb and a good shape. So I'm cutting the posts from 4x2, which I split down. You'll see later in the installation the issue I had with the the wall is at 45 degrees, so it meant I'd have to cut the posts at a 45 degree and get the exact angle right with packers, etc. But you'll see that when I install it at the customers. So here I'm using my track saw. I'm using 1 post to secure the track saw or the track to the post so it doesn't move, and then I'm going to cut at a 45-degree angle with my track saw. And then I'm carefully running the track saw through at a 45-degree angle to cut the latch side of the gate post. So onto the top of the gate now. This is the metal work going in, the rods between the top of the arch and the top of the gate. I removed these from Mark's old gate, and I think they add a nice touch to the finished gate, which you'll see at the end. So I'm using a small spade bit to drill holes as straight as I can, because I haven't got a pillar drill, into the top of the archway, and then I'll drill the same holes in the top frame strut of the gate and cut them to the exact length. They've been hammer-righted, and then I'll just put them in, and then I'll now be securing the archway to the rails. So I'm using clamps, screws and glue to secure the rails to the archway. So onto the carriage bolts. So I painted these previously with black hammerite, and now you can see me banging them in, drilling and attaching them into the gate, and then I'm bolting them the other side, and then I'm angle grinding off the excess thread. So we've got something I didn't foreplan. Always get your hinges first when you design it, because if you look, my dowels, I've got to cut these, but they're marking where that was a bodge screw, I think. No, I've done 3, so I did 3 screws through there. Then this has got to go on the bottom, and I just managed to squeeze the bolt just that size through. So if I'd known, I'd have made sure. I mean, it was luck, but I'd have designed it. I could have changed the hinge design. But one of these heavy-duty hinges for my design. I've overkilled this as usual. It's much stronger than it needs to be for a thin side gate. So we've got the clamp on, glue. I will screw these in as well. They're supported by these metal bars I took off Mark's old gate. Top hinge. It's very it opens outwards. So that's why the hinges are on the front. I didn't want that, but then I thought, well, I'll get some strong hinges and make it look a bit like a castle. But yeah, she's coming now. She's doing alright. So it'll be nice when it's finished. Very strong gate. Very strong gate. Bit overkill, but he's worth it. So adjustable, because Mark can then adjust it in and out, because these do expand and contract. Nice strong bolt under there. Angle grind that off in a minute. 2 screws there, adjustable. Goes on there. I painted it black, so I thought I ordered black, but I got silver. Just going to put the top one on now. So we're putting the top hinge on now. So it's 2 external grade screws. I think they were about 50mm. Make sure they're galvanised or stainless steel, as explained before. And then we're putting the carriage bolt, which goes through on the 4x2, which gives it its strength. So this is a self-centering drill bit, so you can get the hole exactly correct for the hinges. So I'm now installing these lovely carriage bolts. These are M8, I think. So what I've done, I put them through. They grip within the gate into the wood. They got a little square piece behind the bolt, and then I do them up. And this allows them to grip into the wood without you having to hold them or use pliers or mole grips, etc. So I use these quite a lot. These were then painted with black hammerite paint. So on to the Ironmongery. So I'm just unpacking the gate latch kit, which will fit in a minute. So the arch is clamped, so we're now putting on some lovely teak oil, because I need to put about 2 or 3 coats on, especially at the top of this beautiful gate. So here's the quality control inspector, Simi our cat, just having a little nose around. Hope he likes it. So this is part of the gate latch. This will normally need cutting down with an angle grinder, depending on the thickness of your gate, so it can locate in the gate handles. So onto the gate latch. So I'm putting the kit on. I've drilled, I think it's an 8 to 10mm hole through the gate where I want to locate the gate latch, and then I'm going to fit it and screw it both sides. So I'm cutting down the square metal rod which comes with the gate latch kit. They're always too long, so it depends on the width of your gate, so it's easy to use an angle grinder to cut this down. Don't cut it too short, otherwise you will be in lots of trouble. So on to my favourite bit. We're now going to be carving the Fairview sign, which is an additional extra for my mate Mark, the customer. I really love wood carving, and I've slowly improved over the time. Please look at my other videos. So I printed this stencil off on Google, I nearly say Google Maps then, on Google Word, and then I've spray adhesived it onto the piece of wood. This is a solid piece of oak, and then I've let that dry, and then I'm now starting to carve with my 1/4" router, which I adapted for wood carving, leaving the paper on and just cutting through as you go, with about a 2mm depth on the 60° V-groove bit, and this came out really nice. I was really happy with it. And also take a look at the base. So I used a Perspex base with handles. Eric Roden is a bloke to look out for on YouTube. I'll put a link below. And then I got little fairy lights as well, which really helps because you need loads of light when you're doing these carvings because they're very intricate. So I'm using a 60° V-groove bit in my 1/4" router for this carved sign thing. And if you look carefully, I'm using an extra piece of wood the same thickness as a support to stop the router moving around and causing the inset letters to be at different depths. So I'm using this marvellous Painter's Touch grey paint to spray the inset letters. I've already sealed these, so once I spray these I will then sand them back down to reveal the clean edge of the wood. I've put some green painter's tape on just to restrict the amount of sanding needed because it can easily clog up your orbital sander pads. And here I'm using a Rust-Oleum clear coat to protect the finished carved sign. So installation day, I'm getting all the stuff ready. I've put all the bits and pieces in a box and I'm just checking everything works as it should. And a final application of Teak oil and a quality control inspection. Customers, I'm just going to get the door gate out the van, and yes, let's get fitting it. It's going to rain about 1:30, so we'll get it set up and fitting now, hopefully. Well, hold tight. Here she is. So that's in its rough resting place. So today we've got to put the framework in and get it working. This is the angle that we're up against, and it's quite a thin alleyway. So this is the position of the gate. This is that 45° angle we talked about, and this is where it'll be going on the hinge side. So I'm going to use some hot glue to get the rough. I've drawn a line here at the wall. And up the wall. So I've got my angled post that I cut the other day at a 45 straight post. So I'm going to hot glue them in a rough position.
Was it?
Yeah. Oh no, it's going now. This is Mark.
Hey.
Go and pay the invoice. Sorry about that. This is the post gate side, latch side. And by using hot glue, I've done a rough match-up of the frame. So this is the hinge side. So these hinges will be going on that post at that angle. Then this, by using my hot glue, look, this will go on there. It'll be packed out, and this should work. So I'm going to secure these now, and we should be fine. Hold tight. Bit of a pilot hole. 3 places on the gate latch side. Hinge side. I got my 2 marks, spirit leveled. So I'm now going to drill a bigger hole through them and use my Marxman marker to mark the hole that I need to drill. So I'm going to use my Marxman. I should be wearing this tool. So a quick time lapse. I'm just marking the holes. So use an 8mm drill bit. I've drilled the holes fully through because you want the coach bolt to pull right into the wall. Now I'm going to use my Marxman pen to mark. You can see that. Just get it up right. So we've got a mark there, and a mark there, so we know it's spirited. Right, it's dead plumb. So we've drilled our hole through with an 8mm drill bit. Get your Marxman pen, and push it in. It's a nice clean hole as it won't go through because it's 50mm. So one on there. Okay, we've got 2 holes, one there and there. So that's good. So I'll now drill the bolts and coach screws and plugs. This is my little plugs box. This is a little brush. This is a tip that a lot of people don't do. This is where the plugs come out. Clean a hole. Then the plug, it's got some of all that dustlet, that affects how the plug bites in. So always clean out the hole, look. You can use a hoover and then the plug will bite better. So that's got room for the washer and the coach screw to rest halfway through the 50mm pressure treated wood. I use this bit to drill that out. So the washer will go in there, lets the bolt go through a bit longer. And then I've got these coach bolts. We've got a screw tip on the front. If you couldn't get a socket in there, you can just use a screw, which I'll use, saves getting the sockets out, and a plug. So I'll do 3. I'm only doing 2 at the moment, so I know that that's in the perfect place. It's going to rain. Hinge side post, as you look at it, this is the top. So I'm going to cut a 45 there for the rain to run off, and a little bit off the bottom so it's not in touch with the concrete. I'm using my circular saw to do that.
Drink the coffee before all the dust goes in.
So my Makita battery 18-volt saw cut at a 45-degree angle. You need full PPE for this, otherwise you could hurt yourself. Coach screws in, they've gone in okay, the wall's a bit rubbish. I've marked my gate height so that will sit just off the ground, so that's 40mm, which is there. So I'm putting the hinge on now. No, the bottom hinge takes all the weight. The top hinge I reverse so the gate cannot be taken off. I'll show you this later. I'm going to mark it, so that's 40mm, alright. This is the one that takes the main weight. I'm going to pre-drill with my, you can just see that there, so this is my drill. Right. I'm only putting 2 holes for now because just pre-drill. And here you can see the 30mm galvanised screws I'm using. Let's see how this sits.
Have a cover?
Yeah, customer alert.
Coffee?
Yeah, cheers Mark. Am I in the way?
It's alright, squeeze past.
Sorry.
There's a seed on you, isn't it?
Hey.
There's a bird seed on you.
Is there? Well, I need that, don't I? So a little bit of abuse from the customer there, but hey. I'll have a proper nice cup of coffee and some biscuits to soak it up. So I'll put the screws in, look, pre-drilled. I'll put 2 in for now. This is the one that takes all the weight, and then I'll put this on and we'll mount the gate and see how it works. So that's that. That'll get some wood treatment on it to stop it going in, because you've cut through the tannalised timber, because the tannalizer only penetrates so far. So I'll cut a little bit off this because I forgot when I marked the holes for the coach screws. I should have marked it with this off the ground with a spacer, but I didn't. But I got enough length in the post for it to look okay, so I'm just going to cut that a little bit off the straight. That means when it's against the wall, the water can't lap up because it's not in contact with the ground. So the post is in the right position. All the weight goes on the bottom hinge based on the brace. So I've fitted the top hinge upside down. This stops you taking the gate off. A lot of people fit it the normal way round, which seems normal, but this means the gate could be lifted off because they think the hinges share the same weight, but they don't. The bottom hinge, as seen here, takes all the weight. The top hinge is just a pivot point, so always fit them the opposite way round, then the gate cannot be lifted off. I marked it with a pencil so we can have it like 10mm off the ground, so it allows for clearance, and we don't want water coming up into the gate, so everything's off the ground, the posts and the gate. So it looks like that'll work. So I'm going to secure these now, and then we can do that side just before it rains. That's the customer moaning as usual. I've got the gate on. Here's a bit of adjusting at the top. I've used these brilliant little inflators, look. Inflatable bags. I'll list them in the description if I can get it down. Oh, you press it. Look at that. Amazing. Got 2 of them, they're about 30 quid. I'll put them on Amazon, they're on Amazon. You can just use it to get the door. I'm rushing a bit because it's going to rain, so that needs adjusting out at the top in. So you adjust it with these bolts. and then the screws are in. I've done a lot of filming, but have a look at this. So I've cut these at an angle. I've cleaned them out with my cleaner. This is 45-degree bit of 2x4 cut at 45-degree angle for this, but the walls are all out. So I'm going to screw it in there and then packer it out, and then we're going to seal it with some brown mastic external at some point. That's the plan. Look at that. It is tanking down, but luckily I use containers, got waterproofish, and I planned for this, but I should hide and wait for a bit. But the gate's on and we can hear it slamming, and I'll show you in a minute. It's been raining, so we're going to finish this another day. So I've got a slam strip there that will need painting. The gate shuts like so. That goes in there. This latch is a bit faulty. We're going to fix it, but that goes in there like so. This will get sealed up with some brown external adhesive, so that works. Locks at night. And padlock it. Oops, here comes Marky, the customer. Sorry about that. Well, looky here, a beautiful gate. All that work worthwhile. Happy customer, got paid, something to be proud of, and a feature of Mark's property. I'm sure you'll agree. I think the carved sign finishes off lovely, and the black ironmongery with the hinges makes it look unique. The gate opens beautifully. Doesn't need a little door stop to stop it banging the gate handle, but it all works as it should, and I'm very pleased. So I hope you've enjoyed my 3-part episode of this gate build. I've learnt a lot from it and I've really enjoyed it. Amazon affiliate links are in the description below. Please like, subscribe and comment, and I'll be making a lot more videos like this. Thank you and hold tight.